Welcome to Talking with the Experts. This is where we discuss great ideas to take your business to the next level. How do we know these ideas work? Well, it's because we're talking with business owners who are using these ideas. Business owners who have years of experience and expertise. All things business by business owners for business owners. And now, here is your host, Rose Davidson.
Hi, I'm Rose Davidson from Talking with the Experts. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Global Glamping Charities for their valued support. Global Glamping Charities, solving homelessness in all its forms. Reach out to them at globalglamping.org.
Talking with the Experts.
The success of a business in the coaching and consulting space often depends on the effectiveness of their high-ticket funnels. In episode 470, Shawn Bayley discusses.
So this is where it gets really fun and kind of interesting and really counter to what people think that they're supposed to do. So a lot of the times you'll see this with high-ticket funnels, coaching funnels. You click on a link from Facebook, you go over, watch a video. After the video or on the video page itself is the person's calendar. And it looks like they're just literally just trying to jam as many people as they can and fill up that calendar with people. And that's cool, like if you're playing a numbers game and, but to make life easier for your closers, if you're doing the closing, make life easier for you, or if you've got people who are your closers, make life easier for them. Set it up so that they don't get access to the calendar. They watch the video and the only thing that they can do after that is fill out an intake form. Because this is going to give you some valuable data, and we want people to actually, take the time to go and fill out this form. And we want to, explain to them like, we need to get this info from you, and we'll let you know if you've made it to the next round. And now,
Talking with the Experts.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is all about business by business owners for business owners. You can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. And today my guest is Shawn Bayley, and Shawn's going to be discussing high-ticket funnel fails. Oh, yes. So he's going to discuss with us and share with us some common mistakes that coaches make and how we can avoid them. Now, Shawn is a certified copywriter and funnel builder with over 10 years of experience in the industry. He has a passion for marketing and sales and has helped countless businesses and coaches launch successful marketing campaigns and sales funnels that have generated 6 and 7 figures in revenue. He's a seasoned professional that has developed a keen eye for effective marketing and sales strategies that deliver results. With a comprehensive understanding of the customer journey, Shawn crafts compelling copy and designs effective funnels that convert leads into paying customers. Welcome, Shawn, and this discussion is going to be very interesting.
good. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to be here.
Terrific. Now, tell me a little bit about your background and how you became doing what you're doing.
For sure. For me, when I first started out, I was just kind of one of those 9-to-5 people who was looking for like a side business, some type of side hustle, something like that. And I didn't want to go try and start some type of brick and mortar business or franchise or anything like that. The internet looked like a really good opportunity. And I learned about selling information products. And that was kind of like the stepping stone for me. I was really good at kind of thinking up the ideas for information products, but I knew absolutely nothing about selling. And it's ironic that now I've, become a copywriter and do that for people. But when I got started back in the day, I would have to hire copywriters. And it was just kind of part of a necessary evil. It was part of the process. So one time I got some copy that I paid for from a copywriter, and it was no good. I could tell right away that this wasn't, this was poorly written and there was no get my money back. So I just kind of like shook my fist and was like, that's it, never again. I'm going to learn how to become a copywriter so I can write my own sales copy. That was I wasn't planning on doing it for other people. I just wanted to be able to do it for myself, write my own sales copy and sell my own products. So I thought, oh, how hard can it be? But then I signed up with a company called AWAI, and part of the process was actually taking old sales letters and writing them out by hand. And I don't know what it does. It creates some kind of connection between your hand and your brain when you're writing those those old time sales letters. And that was part of the process for learning to be a copywriter. And went through the process, took like a test and got certified as a copywriter. And then I started, writing and my own copy and selling products, and it started working really well. And then other people started approaching me, and it kind of turned into its own service that I offered, because I could either build the funnel for someone, or I could write the copy for their funnel, or usually it would be like, hey, how about I do both for you? And I got to kind of like double dip on that. And then that was, I did that for a while. I was, digging that. And then I just happened by chance to be in a Facebook group for copywriters, and a 7-figure business coach, online guru put a post in there. And I thought he was looking for maybe some copywriters to write some copy, but he was actually looking for business coaches to work with his clients, help them with their sales copy, help them with their, with their funnels, their offers, that kind of thing. So it was a great opportunity. I got to work literally side by side with him, see the workings of a 7-figure coaching business, because he was doing $2.5, almost $3 million a year in his business. So to actually see what was involved with that as far as an online coaching business was just an incredible experience. So I did that for a while, and then kind of went back to doing my own thing for clients and developed my own kind of process for developing presentations that I'll talk about kind of as we go along through this. But that's kind of how it came to be.
Yeah, that's a really good, great journey. It's being right place, right time, actually.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess, we all know that having a sales funnel is paramount to, having great sales. But what are the common mistakes that, business owners are making to get people to their funnel?
So one of the first ones that I would see, what I learned from working with him and kind of as I started working with his clients and whatnot, was that people would assume that once they had their offer kind of proven and kind of validated, that it was time to go create a massive, a webinar funnel. Those are very popular at that time. They're still pretty popular, but go create, a full-blown, say Russell Brunson style webinar. Now, the problem with those is those things can be anywhere from 200 to 400 slides. So we would show them and teach them and say, instead of doing this big, massive webinar that's a big, time investment, I coined the phrase a reverse webinar, right? A webinar is huge. This thing is only about anywhere from, I've seen as short as 12 minutes up to around, say, 20, maybe even 25 minutes. But it's short, it's tight, it's about maintaining attention. And just because people have shorter attention spans, you know what I mean? Like if you put on a 90-minute presentation, it's a given that people are going to have other tabs open. They're going to be playing on their phone. They're going to be doing other stuff. This is the type of presentation where once someone starts it, they don't get on their phone. They don't open other tabs. They're engrossed in the entire thing from start to finish. So the first thing that I would say is don't go and invest a whole bunch of time and energy creating a long form traditional webinar. Just go with a nice tight traditional, or a nice tight reverse webinar. And there's only like a few pieces to it. And I'll kind of go through, and we'll just touch on it lightly. We won't get too micro here, but with a reverse webinar, with one of these tight kind of shorter presentations, the first thing is all about the offer, presenting it right away and having it be clear, understood, and binary. It's either yes or no, right? And I mean, if you were to say in the weight loss niche, you could have something like, do you want your pre-baby body back in the next 30 days? If I offered to get you the body back that you had before you had your child, would you be interested in this offer? Do you want to have that tight tone body that you had back in the day? Without, strict diets, crazy fasting or nonstop cravings, would you be interested in that? That's it. It's that simple right at the start of the webinar. People are either in or they're not at that point. And then if it's aimed at the right people, then that message should resonate and they should be brought in. The next part is your authority. So on traditional webinars, people will go on for like 20 minutes about their backstory, and it's, you know what I mean? Like that's great and whatnot. And there's some really great stories, and there's way to do that in the funnel. After you've got them in the funnel, like send an email that is 30 pages long with your story. If it's interesting, I'll read every damn word. You know what I mean? But as far as in the presentation, we just want to have literally a one slide of authority. Here's why you should listen to me. Here's some stuff that I've accomplished either for myself or for some other people, right? Like just kind of touch on it. We're going to go deeper in the proof later, but just kind of keep it short, a nice short authority slide there. After that, we want to go into kind of like talking about the actual system itself. Like I'm going to show you this revolutionary new 6-figure accelerator method that our clients are using to add, $20K a month. Right. So as soon as you throw out something like that, where it's kind of like, kind of exciting, you want to kind of pull it back and start developing kind of the rapport. Like, okay, let's lean in and like, let's talk here. So with that, I like to start with a statement, like something like, we all know, right? Get them to agree with you in your presentation there. We all know that 80% of Americans are overweight. Now, in copywriting school, they teach you when you make some kind of claim like that, you want to back it up with 3 pieces of proof, right? You can't just go spouting off claims because your copy is just not going to work. So if we say something like, we all know 80% of Americans are overweight, then I would follow up with leverage proof, what I call it, right? In fact, according to Johns Hopkins University, according to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, or, leverage something else if you're in a different niche, according to Forbes magazine, something that's going to, resonate with them as far as leveraged authority there. So they, they say, yeah, I agree with this. And, like, this is a certainty. It's coming from Johns Hopkins, right? And then after that, we just talk about the system, what it is, and everyone's system, whatever you're teaching people to do, can usually be broken down into like 3 to 5 steps or pillars or keys or whatever. So we want to touch on those. We're not going like into the how to do it. It's just a little bit about the what, and you talk about it. And there's kind of a nifty way you can ethically mess with people's minds when you do this. So you say, step 1 is that we're going to outline your ideal avatar and create your 10K per month offer. Now, when you do this right, you'll have a killer offer that your ideal client can't resist. So what we did there is we said, okay, so step 1, here's what you do. And we said, when you do this right. So that kind of makes people automatically kind of perk up, because they say, well, like, I want to know how to do this, but I definitely don't want to do it wrong. So I'm definitely going to pay attention, because everyone wants to do things right versus wrong. So we kind of play a little bit of a word game there with the way that we frame that there. After that, then we're just pretty much in the home stretch as far as the, showing them inside this presentation. We want to go with some testimonials and results, right? We want to show them what we've accomplished for people works, or our system works, or whatever. And then we would just offer up an exchange with scarcity, saying, and it, not like any kind of fake scarcity. That is a stinky cologne that nobody wants to wear. If you're going to have scarcity, just be real. Like, if I'm doing like group coaching for, high ticket funnels, and I'm teaching people, I can only take realistically maybe 5 people per month. Maybe 8 people per month. I've only got so many spots. So I would say that my presentation, I would say, hey, if you're seeing this message, that means I've got some spots available. I can only take 8 people per month. So, if you don't get in now, you're going to have to wait till next month. Boom. It's that easy, right? And it's legit. That's the type of presentation that that we kind of worked on together. And then what I took and kind of evolved them into my own process. And they work like gangbusters when they're done right.
It sounds really great, but what happens if you don't have testimonials? Say it's a beta course or something that you're offering.
Yeah, some people will say, oh, just go ahead and just put the offer out there without testimonials. But honestly, if it's a good offer, and if you're just starting from ground zero, especially, is get your offer written out, make sure that it's a good offer. It's got some time frame component, like in the next 30 days, we're going to accomplish this, and go post it to your email list. If you don't have an email list, make a YouTube video, put it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Get some people, get a beta group together for a month, because it's only going to take you 30 days. Get those people results. Get screenshots, this type of stuff, interviews and video testimonials, and then go from there. Like, you don't even need the funnel at first. You need an offer, and you need some people that are like, yep, I am totally into that, and I will work with you. Let's get some results.
Yeah, good point, because I know a lot of people are doing first time offers, and they obviously don't have the testimonials to back them up. So having those in place is a good start.
Yeah, and you'll only have to do it once. I know it kind of sucks to be like, oh, I feel like I'm giving it away or whatever, but if you don't have the testimonials, then give it away. Just do it. Make sure that you've got somebody who's committed to, going through this process, and is going to, be a good fit, and get the results that you want, so that you can get those testimonials, and then you'll never have to do it again.
Yeah, that's quite an effective strategy, Shawn. And so I guess, you've done the explanation about the presentation. But what about, getting the positioning and, getting that shock value?
Yeah, so this is where it gets really fun and kind of interesting, and really counter to what people think that they're supposed to do. So a lot of the times you'll see this with high ticket funnels, coaching funnels. You click on a link from Facebook, you go over, watch a video. After the video, or on the video page itself, is the person's calendar. And it looks like they're just literally just trying to jam as many people as they can and fill up that calendar with people. And that's cool, like if you're playing a numbers game and, but to make life easier for your closers, if you're doing the closing, make life easier for you, or if you've got people who are your closers, make life easier for them. Set it up so that they don't get access to the calendar. They watch the video, and the only thing that they can do after that is fill out an intake form, because this is going to give you some valuable data, and we want people to actually, take the time to go and fill out this form. And we want to, explain to them, like, we need to get this info from you, and we'll let you know if you've made it to the next round. And now all of a sudden, instead of them going like, oh, this coach is trying to get me on this calendar and he's pursuing me, now they're like, oh, he's kind of pulled back. And now we're like, we'll see if you've made it to the next round. And they're like, oh, well, I hope I make it to the next round, right? So we flipped the positioning around on them. So
yeah, I had that with a recent application to be on someone else's podcast, and it was like, submit all this information, and then we'll get back to you to let you know if you've made it into the to be interviewed.
right.
Thankfully I did, but that's not the point. It's just, will I make it or won't I? So it's that sort of, wait and see game, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's a lot of valuable data in that form. You can find out like what they've tried in the past and what hasn't worked. So that's, valuable information for your closer once it comes time for them to talk to, either you or your closer, and get on the call with them. They can pull up that data and see all of this stuff. And especially like the people who type a lot of stuff in there and just unload, those are usually the people that are more likely to convert. So there's a ton of valuable data that you can pull from them. And then another thing with the form there is that you can use it to essentially pre-sell people. So if you've got a couple different levels to your service, so on your intake form, you've got one question, and this one question is going to save you like a lot of like aggravation. And I'll tell you a story in regards to this and why this is like a must for me. But on your form, you got one question that says like, what would be the ideal product for you, or what option would fit you best? So let's say like you've got like your high ticket, highest tier done for you. You work one-on-one with that person, and that's like $15,000 or something, right? Then you've got your done with you, which is like a group coaching. Let's say it's like 4,000 or 5,000, right? Then you've got do it yourself, which is like, say, $500 course, no access to me. It's just the videos and the membership, and you can, kind of piece it together yourself. And then a fourth option that says, I'm not able to invest right now. And that's fine, right? If they choose that, and then you get the form and it says, I'm not able to invest, that's cool. Then you don't actually email that person an invite to the calendar, because they're not able to invest, and that's cool. It's not like you're just going to like ditch this person or not reply at all. You just say, hey, it looks like maybe this isn't the best time for you to invest in this type of thing. Here's a link to my $7 product or my $27 product or an affiliate product or something else, right? You kind of, you give them an option, but you're not going to get on a call with them and try and sell those other things. The flip side of that is somebody fills out and says, yeah, I want somebody to do it all for me. I want the Cadillac. I want the deluxe. I want the high-end service. I want it all done for me. $15,000. Yahoo. Like, how great is that for your closer, knowing that going into the call? They're not trying to sell them on like a done with you or do it yourself, or you know what I mean? And you can have it structured so you're only taking those two calls, the 15,000 and the 4,000. If someone chooses do it yourself, you'd be like, oh, cool. Here's a link to my, the sales page for my course. And then boom, that's all automated and taken care of. So this way you're only, you know what I mean? You're only talking to people who are telling you that they're pre-sold and what they want to buy from you.
That is a great tip. Thank you so much for that, because I'm trying to get my course up and going. So I'm going to rewatch this video again.
That's awesome. That's great.
Shawn, I guess getting those sales and conversions is quite daunting. And if anyone's like me and not a good, doesn't have a good sales pitch, or, is not a good closer, what do you advise on that?
So make sure that you can get it to the point where they're literally like begging to work with you, right? And that's all done with positioning. So again, on the form, when they watch the video, they fill out the form, and on that form we have another question that's like an open paragraph question that says, why should I take you on as a client or student? ? And then that's it. It's a paragraph thing, and let them fill that out. and people will justify why, like, I want to work hard. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? I'll be a good student. I'll do whatever you need me to do. And like when I first time I saw this from my mentor, and I asked him, I was like, does this really work? Like having this in there, this paragraph question, and getting people to write this out? And he's like, oh yeah, check this out. So we were having a Zoom meeting, so he starts sending me screenshots in the chat, and it shows me, and what he was able to determine as far as this conversation and how this all went down. This person saw his ad, went over, watched the video, filled out the form. Within 10 minutes, had gone and tracked him down, my mentor, down on Instagram, and started direct messaging him saying, let me in your course. This is perfect for me. I want to be a student. Let me in. I want this so bad. And he's like, well, I don't know. I only want, I want to build my testimonial wall. I want good students. So, yeah, I'll be a good student. Please let me in there. Sends him a PayPal link, and the guy pays in full for $4,300, I think it was $4,300, just because of this positioning, having this in here, and getting people to justify this. And it's, and this is it's so crucial as far as getting people on the call, because when people get on a call with you, when it's like a sales, like whatever, a helpful session or any type of high ticket funnel call, once the actual call takes place and someone gets on the horn, that whether or not they're going to be a client or buy from you has been decided before they got on the call, right? So we want to put these things in place before that happens to, stack the odds in our favor, that we can make that conversion. So yeah, the power of positioning is huge when it comes to that.
Yeah, I guess copyright is the content of any of your landing pages or your video or whatever it is that you have that you're using to build your funnel. We've got things like ChatGPT now, but honestly, sometimes it's better to come from your own voice or your own brain rather than using AI. But how do we, what kind of words should we be looking at using? Just some basic words that I know there's a lot of SEO and things, you've got to use keywords and so forth, but what are the sort of power words that we could be using to build a good page?
Well, I'll give you a couple tips in regards to that. So from a copywriting standpoint and ChatGPT, and it's funny, some this is going to put out a business, and I just kind of chuckled, like, no, there's no. If AI can write better stories, better testimonial stories than humans, then okay, then that's it. I won't have to worry about writing ever again. But being able to craft good stories, especially like your case studies, like you can have the videos and this kind of thing, video testimonials. But if you can break it down and put it into words and take someone through the transformation that one of your clients went through in an email, you know what I mean? Being able to communicate effectively that way, that is going to give you some stuff. Because there's just been, like, once it's a good story, you just find yourself just scrolling and just reading this email and going on and on and on, reading about this testimonial, especially when it's one that really knows how to work the pain of the beforehand, right? Everything that was going wrong, how things sucked beforehand, and really working that angle. So being a good, effective storyteller, like the chat GPTs and the tools and all that kind of stuff isn't going to be able to outdo you there. So if you can learn to be a good storyteller, is going to take you far. And then as far as a simple kind of copywriting, like when someone lands on your page there, they say that you've got like 8 seconds before they bounce, and you got to have their attention. So here it is. This is kind of a headline pop quiz. So if you're listening to this episode, bring up your page. If you got a landing page where someone lands on it there, and take a look at your headline. And this is how you know you've got a perfect headline. We score it out of 4. Your headline needs to have 4 things. It needs to be unique, it needs to be useful, it needs to be urgent, and it needs to be ultra specific, right? So it needs to be unique in that it's got to work your big idea or your unique mechanism, or, you know what I mean? It can just be like, maybe your system, the acronym for it adds up to be like, BAD or bad or something like that. See why my BAD system, blah, 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 right? So just something, that element is about getting curiosity. So making them curious, right? It's got to be useful. It's got to provide some type of benefit in the headline itself. It's got to be ultra specific. So we're not talking about losing 30 pounds. On average, people lost 33.7 pounds over in a 2-week period, or a 90-day period or something like that. So ultra specific, and then urgent. Like there's limited seating in this presentation. There's only 12 copies left of this book. right? Something like that. So take a look at your headline and see, how many of those 4 points did it have? If you've got all 4 of those points, you've got a kick-ass killer headline. Most of them, 3 out of 4 is pretty good. Typical headline is going to be about 2 out of 4. So that's how you can, bump up your copy, especially on the landing page. Somebody clicks on an ad and you spent money to get them off Facebook over to your page there. That headline's got to get them. It's got to be good.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good point too, because if they go past the headline, they're not going to go scroll through the rest of the page. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got to pique their interest. Shawn, what other steps can we do as business owners to build our funnel?
So the only other thing that I wanted to mention in regards to the process was that after we get them to fill out a form and justify why they would be a good client, sell themselves on being a client to you, making them practically beg to be with you, is to tell them is after that, that's when we actually send out the email with a link to our calendar and give them the opportunity to book. Now, when we send that link, we say, we use specific wording, things like, congratulations, you've been selected, you've made it to the next round, right? It kind of feels like American Idol. And like a lot of times I've done call funnels where, you go, call's coming up, you get on there, you wait, it's been like 10, 15 minutes, you're like, okay, this person's not going to show. Right, you've been ghosted. But if someone tells you, okay, you've made it to the next round, and here's a link to the calendar, that person is not going to ghost you. You're going to have, a person who's excited and looking forward to it. Like it just kind of it changes things. It lifts them up and it makes them excited to go and be, to be on the call. Right. So that's when you send them a link to the calendar inside the email and say, congratulations. You look like you might be a good fit for this. You made it to the next round, and you're going to get different quality of people getting on those calls versus just trying to jam as many people into the calendar as you can.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Shawn, you've got an ebook, High Ticket Funnel Secrets, that you're promoting at the moment. What's in there, and how can people get their hands on it?
Yeah, that goes a lot more in depth into some of the stuff that we talked about here. The whole high ticket funnel process shows as far as like some sample pages, lead magnets, things that people can do to draw people into those funnels, and just go into a lot more depth about the things we talked about. Yeah, it's over at highticketfunnelsecrets.com. And people can go get that. And then, I've got some more awesome products off my main website over at shawnbayley.com. It's shawnbayley.com.
Perfect. Now, if you were to give some words of wisdom, doesn't matter if they can be business related or otherwise, what would you say to them?
I would say the number one killer I see for people online when it comes to making progress, living their dreams, doing that type of thing, is do not compare yourself to other people. There's a lot, especially with social media. If you just completely cut off Instagram and just focused on your coaching business, you would go so much further, so much faster. People post so much BS. It is not hard to go rent an Airbnb. It is not hard to go rent some type of flashy car, stand in front, film a video. I'm making thousands of dollars a month and I'm doing nothing, right? There's so much fakery out there. So don't compare yourself to anyone else's journey, even if it's someone who's legit, who's going through and, maybe they're achieving things faster than you, but comparison is just the number one killer. So don't. Understand that it's your journey. Your journey is unique compared to anyone else's, and just go through that process, enjoy it, and know that it's just, like the entrepreneurial bug, especially, is a lifetime thing. It's not going to be like, I'm going to go hard for 12 months and I'm going to be rich and then that's it. I'm just going to sit on the beach forever and drink. Like, it doesn't work like that. So just don't compare yourself to other people. Enjoy the journey, and you'll go so much further, so much faster.
Absolutely. Yeah. I went to was it yesterday or the day before? I went to a Grant Cardone 90-minute presentation. Yeah, it was an online one, but oh my God, it was amazing. And teaching people how to be marketers, and honestly, it was so good. I couldn't get a replay of that because it had some really good points in it. But he did offer a workbook, so that was helpful.
Awesome. I love Grant. That's good stuff.
Yeah, he's so he's like, my God, right in your face though, isn't he? He's like totally amazing.
No point in being subtle, so I like it.
Yeah, no, he wasn't subtle. No, he had actually $1 million in cash sitting on his desk. Oh my God, it was like, what?
With inflation, that's probably only worth $500,000 now, but
Yeah, probably, yeah, probably. Shawn, it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you and to hear of your tips and things on how we can build our funnels and and get more clients, because you are right, being an entrepreneur is a journey. It's one idea after another, and sometimes the shiny objects get in the way, but we always have these ideas about how we want to improve our business or move on to the next thing if something's not working. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and expertise with us today. I look forward to talking with you again, and I'm going to rewatch this video later and use those tips and better my funnel.
Awesome. Thank you for having me on. It's been awesome. And yes, I would love to do it again with you sometime.
Thanks, Shawn. Bye-bye for now.
See ya.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.